Hello and welcome to our 30th session. In the realm of AI-driven filmmaking, particularly when tackling the grandeur of Indian mythology, the greatest challenge is not just creating a stunning visual, but maintaining character consistency. IP Adapter Plus for ComfyUI becomes the ultimate tool for mythological creators. And what is this IP Adapter Plus? Think of IP Adapter Plus as a one image LoRa, while traditional AI models rely heavily on text prompts, which can be unpredictable and inconsistent. IP adapters allows you to use an image as a prompt. By feeding a reference image into the system, the AI adapts the features, style and structure of that character into any new scene you generate. For a mythological filmmaker, this means you can design a master reference for your character 1 and then use IP adapter to cast the exact character into various environment, lighting condition and cinematic sequences without them morphing into someone else. In case of mythological filmmaking, precise character retention is very important. Use the Face ID and ID Plus models to ensure that the facial features of your gods and heroes remains constant across different angles and emotions. In this session, we are going to explore this IP Adapter Plus. We are going to first install this node, configure it, and using this reference frames, we are going to create identical Hanuman for all our 8 frames of our film. Now coming into YouTube page or the e-learning page, if you scroll down and if you come into the description and if you click more here, you are provided with a Patreon link. Click on this Patreon link. This will bring you to the AI Film Studio setup and filmmaking Patreon page. And if you scroll down, you are provided with 3 important links for this session. The first link, 13 keyframe text to image flux.json, is the workflow that we had just completed in our previous session. If by chance, if you doesn't have that workflow, just click on this file and download it to your hard disk. We need certain models for our IP adapters and all this model link is provided here. Click on this to download it. For this IP adapter, I have to add an extra line in the extra path.yaml file. And if you have any confusion in adding this line, you can just click on this zip file, download it. Now come to your download folder, right click and extract this file to your downloaded folder. Right click and copy this file and come into your AI Studio, Windows, ComfyUI, Easy Install, ComfyUI folder and here right click and paste it. So right now I have already added it in this extra model path.yaml file. Open it in Visual Studio Code and add this line. I have also shared you the file with this line already added. So now I will close this. I will come back to my desktop, double click ComfyUI to launch it. Now ComfyUI is launched in your browser at 127.0.0.1 at port number 8188. And now if you have any other workflows open, you can come here and close it. Come into my workflows. I will come into Hanuman and I will open this keyframe text to image flux.json workflow, which we had created in our previous session. So if you doesn't see this workflow here, you can come into this ComfyUI menu, come to file and open. If you come into the downloads folder, you have 13 keyframe text to image flux.json workflow available here, which we downloaded from the Patreon page. You can select it and click on the open button. Right now I will cancel it because I already have this workflow. Before I start, I want to keep this workflow as a copy and modify it in a new workflow. I will come into the ComfyUI menu, file and choose save as. I will give this the name as IP adapter underscore keyframe text to image flux and click on confirm. So now you can see it is automatically saved inside this Hanuman folder. I have to add some custom nodes which are the IP adapter node. If I come here and double click and in the search if I type IP adapter, there are some IP adapter. These are from easy use. But in this case, I want to use IP adapter from the company called Cubic. If you want to install additional loads, this is just like you install add-ons or plugins in other softwares. Click outside this search. To maintain ComfyUI nodes, we have a ComfyUI manager. If you have installed this using my package, this manager will be already installed, or you have to install this manually from the GitHub page. I will click on the manager, see that your ComfyUI version and your manager version is all up to date. So I can click on update all. You can see the update is going on. So if any of the packages, it is going to just update it. Some of the ComfyUI nodes are automatically getting updated here. It is now updating ComfyUI manager. So now it shows to me that the following custom nodes have been updated. So I will click on the restart button here. It is asking me, would you like to reboot the server? Click on confirm. It is reconnecting. Come into your terminal. You can now see ComfyUI manager is now restarted. So you can now see reconnected here, and if I come back to my browser, it is asking me whether you have to apply the changes. Click on confirm, and now it will be reloaded. My ComfyUI has been updated, and now again I will click on this ComfyUI manager. I will come into this custom nodes manager. Click on custom nodes manager, and in the filter I am going to type IP, and immediately you can see the very first link here, ComfyUI IP adapter plus version 2, and it is coming from a person called Matthew. Here, if you want more detail about this node, you can just click on this, and this will bring you to the GitHub page, which is in the name of Cubic ComfyUI Adapter Plus. And if you scroll down, you have all the details about this node here. I will come back to my work and see it has 37 nodes. So if I click on this, you can see the 37 nodes that will be added now. I will close this. This is the name of the author, and it has a very good star rating, and you can see it has been last updated on 14th April 2025. Now click on the install button. It is asking me to select a version. I will select the latest version and click on select. Now the installation is done, and it is now asking me to restart ComfyUI. Click on the restart button, and when it asks for confirmation, click on confirm. ComfyUI, it is again getting restarted. You can see reconnecting here. Come back here, and in the confirm, click on confirm. It will reload, and we have now successfully installed IP Adapter Plus. Now if you come into the manager, and in customs mode manager, if I now select IP, you can see IP Adapter Plus. So if it shows 4 buttons like this, this means it has been successfully installed. If I now click on this ComfyUI IP Adapter Plus link, this will open this node in its GitHub page. This is the source code of this node, and if you scroll down here, you have all the details about this node. And the important part is, in the installation, it first asks you to add IP adapter entry in the extra model parts.yaml. This we have already done it. In ComfyUI models clip vision folder, I have to place these 3 models. One very important thing here is, I have to name these models with exactly the same name. I will select the name here. I will just right click and copy the name. Then I will click on the link. You will see the save as window, and here I will come into D, AI Studio, models, come into clip vision folder, press Ctrl V to paste the same name, and click on the save button. So you can now see this file, which is around 2.4 GB, is getting downloaded. Now you can see this 2.35 GB, around 2.4 GB file downloaded in this clip_vision folder. I now have the second file here. I will click and hold and drag on this name. I will right click and copy the name. Then I will click on this link. Again, I will come into AI Studio Model Clip Vision folder, and in the file name place, press Ctrl V to place this name and click on the save button. And you can now see this file, which is around 3.4 GB, is getting downloaded. So now you can see our second file has downloaded. I will come back to my GitHub page. I will select the third file here. I will select the name, right click, copy it, click on the link, and again in the Clip Vision folder, press Ctrl V to paste it and click on the save button. My third file, which is around 1.6 GB, is also downloaded. Come back to the GitHub page. You need another folder. I will select this name of the folder, right click and copy it because it should be the same. Come back to the folder here, and in models, I will right click and I am going to create a new folder. Press Ctrl V to paste this name, IP adapters. Now I will press enter, and now I will open this IP adapter, and here I have to save my next file. So I will come back to my GitHub page. So here I need not select the name because when I click on the link, it gets saved with the same name. I will come into models and I will come into the folder IP adapter and click on the save button. This is a small file of around 42.6 MB, so it is getting downloaded. Similarly, I will click on the second light impact model. So I will click this, and in the same folder, I will click save to save it. Click the third link, fourth link, fifth link, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and it has told that this model has been depreciated, but if you need, you can download it also. So now when I have downloaded all this to my IP adapter folder, see here, all these files have been downloaded in this IP adapter folder. So if I come back to the GitHub page, I have few more models here for the unified loader. So I will click on the link here for Face ID model, Face ID plus model, this link for text prompt style, SDXL model, SDXL plus V2, then SDXL text model, then IP adapter Face ID portrait, IP adapter Face ID plus, IP adapter Face ID portrait SD15. I will place all this inside my IP adapter folder. If I scroll down, I have to now come into ComfyUI model LoRa's, and I have to download another 5 models here. So I will click on the link here, and even here I can directly click here. The name is the same. So I can come into AI Studio models in the LoRa's folder. I will open the LoRa's folder, and here I will click on the save button to save this file. So similarly here, I will download this second one in the LoRa, third one in the LoRa, fourth in the LoRa, and this fifth one in the LoRa. If you scroll down, there are 4 more models that has to be placed in ComfyUI models IP adapter. So you can click on these links, 1, 2, 3 and 4, and you can download it. If you come back here, in models Clip Vision, you will have 3 files. In models IP adapter, you will have 24 items, and in models LoRa's, you will have 7 LoRa's here. So with this, our download of all the model is over. With all the models installed, I will come back to ComfyUI with this IP adapter keyframe text to image flux.json workflow. Right now, this workflow, we haven't made any changes. You restart ComfyUI 1 after the installation of IP adapter node. I will come to the top here and double click, and I am going to search for the node IP adapter, and I select this IP adapter advanced node. So now I have this IP adapter advanced node. You have a model input and model output. In our previous setup, the model output from load diffusion model was coming to the input of CFG guider. I will delete connection from load diffusion model to the CFG guider. I will also drag it, click outside, so that I have removed the connection between load diffusion model to CFG guider. From the model, I will connect to the model input of my IP adapter advanced, and from the IP adapter advanced model output, I am going to take this and connect it to the CFG guider. I have added IP adapter advanced in between my flow of model from my load diffusion model to the CFG guider. You have an IP adapter input. I will double click, and again I will call this IP adapter, and this time I am going to select this IP adapter unified loader. So I will keep my unified loader here. I have to now select my model. Click on this IP adapter unified loader name here. I am going to currently select this plus high strength. I am now going to take the model output from my diffusion model and connect it to the model input of unified loader. and I am going to take the IP adapter output from here and I am going to connect it to the IP adapter. Next, I need an image input. I will double click and use the load image node. I will double click it and I am going to call this as reference image, and I am going to take the image output of this and connect it to IP adapter advanced. So this is where we are going to load our reference image. You can also add a negative image which represents what thing you doesn't have. Right now we are not going to use it. You can also use mask, which we are not currently going to use it. And finally I need clip vision. I am just going to double click here and I will select for load clip vision. I will click on this load clip vision and I have added the load clip vision node. The clip vision output from this load clip vision, I am going to select it and connect it to the clip vision input of my IP adapter advanced. And here in the clip vision, if I click here, I had downloaded 3 models. Right now I will use this VIT H14 Lelan 2B S32 B79K tensor. With all the connections done, I will click on choose files to upload and I will come into AI Studio folder. In the renders, if you come into Hanuman, I want my Hanuman face to be having the facial expression or look of this kind of Hanuman. Come into my Explorer and open my keyframe 1 prompt.pdf which we had downloaded from our Patreon page. I had created one reference image creation of Hanuman. I had created 3 prompts here. Again I will add this first prompt. I am going to right click and I am going to copy, come into ComfyUI, and in the positive prompt I will right click and paste this. Then I will come back to my document and I will select the negative prompt, right click and I will copy it, come back to ComfyUI Studio and in the negative prompt I will select and paste it. In the IP adapter, choose this plus face portrait, and in IP adapter advanced I leave all the values at its default. Weight 1, weight type linear, combined embeds concat, start at 0 and end at 1, embed scaling V only. And with this selected, now I am going to execute by pressing this run button. So here I have my first reference image created here. I will come back to my prompt and for the close-up reference, I am going to select this positive prompt, right click and copy it, come back to ComfyUI Studio. The positive prompt, I will press Ctrl A and paste this prompt. Negative prompt will remain as it is, and with all setting left as it is, I will again click on the run button. So now you have the close-up shot reference. Again I will come back to my document. I select the third prompt, right click and I will copy it, come back to ComfyUI, and in the positive prompt I select everything, right click and paste it, and now I will again click on the run button. So I now got my third reference image. If I come back to my folder, that is AI Studio renders Hanuman, now I have 3 more keyframes created. I select the old reference 1, reference 2, reference 3 and I will drag it into this old folder, and I will select first keyframe here, right click and I will rename this reference 1.png. I will select the second, right click and I will rename this as reference 2png, and I select the third, right click and I will rename this as reference 3 p.m. Come back to ComfyUI and I am now going to save my file. Coming back to my document, now it is time to create my individual keyframe. So I will move up. Keyframe 1 is ready. So I select the keyframe 2 prompt. I am going to select the positive prompt here, right click and copy it. Come back to ComfyUI Studio and select the positive prompt, press Ctrl A and I am going to paste it. I will come back to my document and I will select the negative prompt, right click and copy it. Come back to my ComfyUI, select the negative prompt, select everything in negative prompt and paste the new prompt here. Coming into my choose file to upload, I will click here, and this time I am going to choose the close-up reference 2.png. For my keyframe 2, I will execute and create the images. I got my first image, then I will again click on run to create a second image, and again I will click on run to create my third image. So I got my 3 images here. I will come back to my folder DAI Studio renders Hanuman. I will select the first 3, keyframe 2A, keyframe 2B, keyframe 2C, drag it and put it into the old folder, and I am going to right click and rename this as keyframe 2A, and then I will select the second file, rename this as keyframe 2B, and the third one I will right click and rename this as keyframe 2C. Now similarly, let us create our other keyframes. Coming back to our storyboard, we had created here the first shot of the seashore, the second we have just now created, and the third is the Jambavan is going to come and remind him. If you come into the keyframe 1 prompt.pdf file, scroll down, for keyframe 3, I have provided you with the prompt. Select the prompt, right click and copy it. Come back to ComfyUI in the positive prompt, right click and paste it. Now I will come back to document and I select the negative prompt, right click and copy it. Come back to ComfyUI Studio, select the negative prompt text, delete it, right click and paste it. Now I am going to use the same reference image because this is also a medium shot of Hanuman talking to Jambavanta. So leaving everything as it is, I will click on the run button to create my first image for my third shot. So I got my first shot here. I will click run here again to execute it for the second time. Okay, this is better. Then I will click again to execute it for third time. So I will create three images for every keyframe. So I got my 3 frames. Come back to my folder, that is DAI Studio renders Hanuman. I will select the currently generated frames, right click and I will rename this as keyframe 3A. I will select the second image and rename this as keyframe 3B, and I will select the third image and I will rename this as keyframe 3C. Now coming back to my story outline, the fourth shot is that extreme close-up on Hanuman eyes. A soft golden glow reflects in it. If you come into the keyframe 1 prompt, which I have shared it to you, if you scroll down, I have provided you keyframe 4. Positive here is on the top. I will select this, right click and copy it. Come to ComfyUI Studio, come into the positive prompt, press Ctrl A and delete everything, right click and paste this prompt. Come back, keyframe document, select the negative prompt, right click and copy it. Come back to my negative prompt, select everything, delete and paste it. I will use the same reference frame as it is. I will execute and run my image creation. You got the first image here, the close-up. I will run again. I got the second image of the close-up. I will again run for the third time. So this is my third image. Now I will come back to my folder AI Studio renders Hanuman, right click and I will rename the first one as keyframe 04A. Select the second one and rename this as keyframe 4B, and I will select the third one and I will rename this as keyframe 4C. I will come back to my story outline, and for the fifth shot I will show the world response, a ocean surface where Hanuman is stepping forward. I will come in keyframe 1 prompt, scroll down, select my fifth frame. I will select the positive prompt, right click and copy it. Come back to ComfyUI and in positive prompt select everything, delete and paste this fifth keyframe prompt. Come back to my keyframe 1 prompt, and for the negative prompt I am going to select this, right click and copy it. Come back and in the negative prompt I will select everything, delete, right click and paste it. and since it is a walking shot, I am going to come into the reference image and I am going to select his full body reference now for this, and in the IP adapter I am going to select plus high strength and leave everything as it is. And now if I execute it, so this is the next frame that I got, but I have a slight amount of bluishness in the skin. I will come into the negative prompt and add blue skin so that I can remove the blue skin. I will run it. Now I got the next image. I will again click run for the third time to create another image. So I got these three images. Come back to my folder. I select the first keyframe, right click, come and rename this as keyframe 5A and press enter. For the second frame, right click and rename this as keyframe 5B and press enter. And for the third, right click and rename this as keyframe 5C and press enter. So I have my fifth frame ready. I will come back to my story outline and I need the sixth frame where Hanuman is getting ready to fly. I will come into my keyframe 1 prompt, select the positive prompt for my keyframe 6, right click, copy it, come to ComfyUI Studio, and here in the prompt I select the positive prompt, press Ctrl A and delete everything, right click and paste the sixth keyframe prompt. Now I will come back and select the negative prompt, right click and copy it, come back and I am going to right click and paste it here. I will leave everything as it is. I am going to run. I got the first image here. I will click run again. Now I got the second image. Now I will again click run to create my third image. So I got my three images now. I will come back to my folder, that is AI Studio renders Hanuman. Select here these keyframes one by one. I will select the first one created and I will rename this as keyframe 6A, and I will select the next one and I will rename this as keyframe 6B. The last one here I will rename this as keyframe 6C. Coming back to my document here in the story outline, for the seventh shot he is going to fly above the ocean. If you come into the keyframe 1 prompt here and if you scroll down, I have provided you keyframe 7 positive prompt. Select everything here, right click and copy it. Come to ComfyUI, in the positive prompt press Ctrl A and delete it, right click and paste it. Come back to document and select the negative prompt here which I have given, right click and copy it. Come back to ComfyUI and select the negative prompt, right click and paste it, leaving everything as it is. Now I will again click on the run button to create my seventh keyframe. I got my first keyframe here. Click run again to create another keyframe now. So you got the second keyframe now. Now I will click run again to create my third keyframe. I am going to come back into my folder. I will select the first one here, right click and I will rename this as keyframe 7A and press enter. Second one I will right click and I will rename this as keyframe 7B, and I will select the third one and I will rename this as keyframe 7C. Finally, for the last shot, I will come back to keyframe 1 prompt and I will select the positive prompt, right click and copy it. Come back to ComfyUI and in the positive prompt press Ctrl A, delete everything, right click and paste it. Come back to my document and for the negative prompt select everything, right click and copy it. Come back to ComfyUI Studio, select the negative prompt, delete it, right click and paste it, leaving everything as it is. I am now going to run. So here I got the first image, but I doesn't want the text. In positive prompt, do not add any text. I will add it in the positive prompt and I will again click the run button. So now I doesn't have the text. I will click run again to generate one more image and I will again click run to create third image. So I got these 3 images. Now I am going to come back into my folder and I select the first generated 3 images here and I will delete it because it had text. Now I will select this, right click, and I will rename this as keyframe 8A, and second one I will rename this as keyframe 8B, and the third one I will right click and rename this as keyframe 8C. If I just open these images and if I check it, see, for keyframe 1 I have got this 1 image, 2 image and 3 images. Out of 3 images I can use any one. Then for the second shot I have this image, this and this. Among the 3 I can use any one. For the third shot I have this. This is looking more like a primitive man. This is not good. I can use this, BC. And for keyframe 4 I have the close-up of the eyes, 1, 2 and 3 shots. And then for keyframe 5 I have one walking shot here, 2. This is the second one and this is the third one. The second one appears to be better. Keyframe 6 I again have 3 shots. I think the first one or the third one I can use it. And finally 7th I have flying 1, 2, 3. I will again use the second one. And finally 8 I have the spark in 3 frames. All our keyframes are ready and we are now ready to convert these keyframes into videos. So in our next session, we are going to start creating videos using a different workflow and different model set. So for that, let us meet in our next session.